BookTube, it's Louise, the big head bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to this episode of Weekend Reads, the one where I return from an unscheduled break. Yes, I was due to come back sometime in August, I think, and I went on holiday, and I didn't want to say I'm going on holiday, so I just kind of missed a couple of weeks. And then it just rolled on, as life does, especially at the moment. Wow, 2020. What a year. What a year in many ways. So today is Saturday the 24th of October as I'm recording here, and welcome to where I sit to record the weekend reads. This is my bedroom, which I share with the husband. So hello, welcome back if you are somebody that's watched one of my videos before and knows what's what. If you're not, then hello, my name is Louise and I'm the big head bookworm. I live in the east of England in a small little village next to a small little town, market town. I live here with my husband and our 12-year-old son, Benedict, who is fabulous, and 3 cats who rule the roost. They rule with an iron paw, quite frankly. I am just slave to their whims and happy to be so. So I work full-time and I also study full-time. I am training to become a pharmacy technician in a local hospital. That I have been doing that for over a year now. Oh, where has the time gone? Where has the time gone, friends? And I look to complete my course, my mandatory training and course, next July. So I hope to be registered next July. I've got to have completed it beforehand. So I'm at the business end of it now, and there's that kind of little bit of pressure in the air. 2020 has been an odd year. I have worked throughout. So when we had lockdown here in Great Britain, in England, and which started in March, and the schools were closed and everybody had to work from home, I, working in a hospital, as you can imagine for the NHS, had to keep going in because that's what you do when you serve. And so I've had a different experience than a lot of people when they talk about what lockdown was. I was still going to work every day. However, the husband's worked from home the whole time, the star that he is, and so he's worked from home and is still working from home. His business has not returned yet. Benedict has gone back to school. He went back to school in September. He went back in the fresh new year in September. It's half term next week, so the husband's actually taken it off, so the two of them have got a week to rest and relax and do stuff. What kind of stuff we can do at the moment, I don't know, because we seem to be going through, I don't know what it's like where you are. We're in tier 1 here, which is the lowest tier. They're having to explain the tiers every single time. Every single time they're mentioned, somebody has to do a quick recap. So there are currently 3 tiers. This is where I'm thinking I get it. But we're in the lowest one, which means that there is coronavirus around doing its thing. It is going up ever so slightly in this area. As I work in a hospital, I'm aware of the current level of hospital admissions in our trust, and it is going up, there is no doubt about it. However, it is not at a level that is as concerning as many other levels, many other areas, and so it is simmering here in this area, and hopefully it won't go any higher. Hopefully we can get it under control, but there is a sense that there's, you know, this winter could be a bit of a tricky one, and we're all just going to have to get through it. So if you're a regular viewer, you know that I live in this lovely little village, which is slowly going into autumn, and it is gorgeous. It really is very beautiful. Where I'm looking out at the moment, I can see some of the trees have already begun to turn and shed their leaves, and I don't know what it's like with you, but it's just so beautiful. I also am slightly obsessed with my neighbour's washing, which I can normally see. Got several neighbours whose washing I like to keep a close eye on, because when I get up and go to work, it tends to be dark now, and they don't put their washing out in the dark. Don't know why. Why would you? And do you know, the weather hasn't been great, so we haven't been putting any washing out recently. We haven't been pegging out. And they haven't been, although they did the other day. The husband did comment one day this week that they had put stuff out, which we were surprised because we think it's never going to dry, but it would air. And I can understand that. I can hear somebody at the door. I think it must be a cat. Shall I go and see if there's a cat? Bear with, I'll be back. Do you want to come in? I'm just recording. Do you want to come on up and show everybody, or are you going to fall over? Oh, how should I think? Yeah, there's Miss Sally has come in to join us, haven't you? Yeah, you can come up. You can come up. Or are you going to sit down there? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So the cats, I see them during the week, of course, but I don't get to spend as much time as I used to with you. So at the weekends, pretty cat heavy, I have to say. Yeah, gorgeous girl. So yes, she's just going to sit down. Keep my feet warm. You keep my feet warm. Good girl. So yes, there we go. So let's talk about books. I talk about books here. Now, because I work and I study and life's just busy. Oh, life's just busy. I don't do busy. I do. So some people thrive on busy and it gives them energy, it gives them motivation, and it just doesn't do that for me. Busy just makes me feel tired and I feel like I'm failing at everything rather than... I like occasionally doing things, but majority of the time not. I don't like busy. I do like routine. So I do like change, but I do like routine, and I like not doing masses, if I'm perfectly honest. But the one thing I do love doing is reading, which is why I have a booktube channel. And that's what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about books. Now, I have had high hopes of doing a spooky read in October because I love my spooky reads. I've got a nice spooky t-shirt on. You've got it. Haunted! Yeah. Oh, yes. That's what you say, isn't it, Sal? She's moved. So I was going to do that because I do, with the husband, we have a podcast called the Spooky Tales Podcast, and it is the time of the year with all the spooky tales that are about. And so if you would like to go over to wherever it is you listen to podcasts, I'll leave the links down below, but we do have a podcast and I'd love it if you come and listen to us over there. And we talk spooky, and I'd hoped to do a spooky read. Spooky Tales Book Club is my ultimate goal. Just not happened this month, just isn't. And so I'm hopeful by next October life will be a lot more settled, because I should have finished my course and I should have finished all the extra work I'm doing, and it should just be much more routine, and I'm hoping I'll have more brain space and more energy and what have you, and we'll be more sorted. So it's just not happened this month. However, we have been talking spooky tales over at the Spooky Tales podcast. But I have been doing some reading, but more importantly, I've been doing some buying. Now, this year, I have not bought as many books. Normally, somebody asked me yesterday, how many books would you normally read in a month? And I said, well, I used to read between 10 and 15 books in a month. I could probably average about 10 to 12 books a month, and they'd be all different types of books. Now, it really fluctuates. So it can just be one, which to me is shocking, or it can be 4. And it can be all different types of reading. And if I really get into things at the moment, then it's glorious. I've struggled to kind of find time in the day where I can actually... it's not the reading, it's the problem. And I don't know if this is the same for you. I will get on to what I'm doing in a minute. So if you want to fast forward this, fill your boots. This is not the most interesting thing, but I just thought I'd tell you this anyway, in case this is the way that you are sometimes. It's not finding time to read that is the issue. And it isn't that I don't have brain space for reading. It's I don't have brain space for getting into books. So if it's a book that grabs me by the second page, oh, that's great. I'm there. I can find time in the day to read it. I'll go to bed early to read it. Might wake up early and have a little sneaky couple of pages. I have time and I can get into it, and I dedicate time and I make time for it. I will stop doing other things because I want to prioritise my reading because I'm into it and it's lovely and it's part of me, and it feels like the bit of me that loves reading, the bit of me that I think is quite essential to myself, is there and connected. What I don't have is the space or the time or the brain capacity to get into books that I'm not into, that I would get into if I gave them a bit more time or would just kind of read anyway. I don't have the capacity to that. There is always other things that I could be doing, should be doing, need to be doing. Whereas if I'm into the book, I will squeeze as much time as I can in spicing through my, intersperse through my day. So that's what I've discovered with myself. That's what I'm currently lacking. The time to get into books if I'm not completely immersed, hooked, intrigued, fascinated immediately. I don't have the space to ease myself into it. And although I am a very quick reader, that is true, even I need time to read a book, so it just doesn't happen. I have been listening to audiobooks, but even then I haven't listened to many audiobooks. In fact, I haven't looked to see what I've been listening to. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. Woo! Podcasts, they're great for just kind of dipping in and out, and they can just be on in the background when I'm doing other stuff. So podcasts I've been listening to a lot. Anyway, I have been buying recently. I hadn't been buying because I hadn't been reading, and I had a kind of stack of books I wanted to work through, which is actually, they were more on there, on that particular little bookcase here at the end of our bed, so I can lie in bed and be inspired to read, or not read, as the case has been. But I have bought some books recently, touching them with my bare hands. So I thought what I'd do is I would do a book haul. No, you haven't done a book haul for, what feels like ages. So I'm going to show you some lovely books. I'm not going to organise them into, because I quite often organise my book hauls into types or stuff. I'm not. I'm just going to pick one up and show it to you. Now, looking at them, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You just watch me count. 13 books. All different types of kind of books. I have read 5 of them. Perhaps let's just mix that up a little bit. So I have read 5 of them. I have now just knocked over them. I've read 5 of them. I am currently reading one of them, and I have DNF'd one of them, and the others I've not got to yet. I've started another one, not got very far into it, and I'm unsure. But I'm not going to tell you in this video which is which. I'm going to do it as a straight book haul, as in these are the books that I've got recently. Would you like to see them? You might be interested in them too. Just putting that out there. And then next week I will go through the ones I've read, the ones I'm in the middle of, and this kind of stuff. And hopefully I'm planning on starting one of them. In fact, I'm planning on starting one of them today. I know which one it is. I'm looking at it right now. See where my eyes went. And so yes, hopefully I'll be able to say I've started this. And it's great, and I've got hooked into it straight away. So let's hope that's what the case is. So let's just grab the first one off the top of the pile, and it is, God, what's the last time I did this? It is Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant. So I saw this book on Books and Lala's channel. Oh, I think she's brilliant. I'm sure you watch her too, but she's just brilliant, isn't she? So yes, and I haven't read any of, now, who is this? Is she Shauna Maguire? Myra Grant. Does it actually tell me anywhere? No. Gosh, I thought it would tell me who this actually is. I think, isn't she Shauna Maguire? Let me just have a look. Acknowledgements. No, she doesn't even say them. Yeah, I thought Mira Grant was Shauna Maguire, who wrote many other books. That's nice. Just scratch my eye in front of you there. Sorry, I just got a real kind of itchy bit there. But no, I haven't read any. Of her horror books, and I do like a horror. And this is a creature horror, and I haven't read a creature horror in years. Not that I can remember, anyway. Creature horrors I do remember reading. This will be a bit of a flashback for some people. Were like Rats by James Herbert and that kind of stuff. You know, Rats, Lair, and Domain. Blooming terrifying. I read them as a teenager. I suspect I probably was too young for them, and I think they were my dad's. And I probably shouldn't have read those. I probably shouldn't have read them when I did. But I really loved kind of creature horror at one point, and this books. Is it Lala? Well, Lala. Books and Lala. She said she read it, and I think she gave it like 4 stars. I don't give mine stars or anything like that. I gave it. She said it was brilliant, and she really enjoyed it. And it wasn't spooky enough for her, but it had a kind of element of mermaids in. And I was like, oh, do you know what I fancy that? I fancy a creature book. And it's something to do with mermaids, and it's a horror. And I really thought, and I've read one Shauna Maguire and loved it, and it's the Wayward Children range, the first one, which I cannot remember, which I adored. I thought it was brilliant. So I thought I quite liked the side her writing. I'm now doubting that this is Shauna Maguire. Is it Shauna Maguire? Hold yourself. I know there'll be people saying, yes, she's Shauna Maguire. Let's have a look. Do you know, Sally? Yes, there we go. It told me straight away. Thanks. Catman, yeah, it is. She knows her books. So yes, there we go. That's my first book, Into the Drowning Deep. It's a horror. It's mermaid inspired. It's by Mira Grant, who's Shauna Maguire. It is adult. Is it adult? Yeah, no, I'm sure it is adult. New York Times best-selling author Mira Grant returns with a razor-sharp tale of the horrors that lie beneath. And it's about a mockumentary where they went to discover the mermaids, and they never came back. The ship was found floating with obviously horror, and there is some found footage, and I'm trying to remember what she said. Yeah, so there's found footage or something like that, and they go back, and now a new crew has been assembled to investigate, and they will discover that whatever is down there is definitely no joke. So that's it. Into the Drowning Deep. So that's book 1. Put it there. Book 2 is Rules for Vanishing, Kate Alice Marshall. Do you want to play the game? So this is... Once a year, a road appears in the woods at midnight, and the ghost of Lucy Gallows beckons, inviting those who are brave enough to play her game. If you win, you escape with your life, but if you lose... And this is a YA spooky tale. So that's what it is. So it's almost a year since Becca went missing. Everyone else has given up searching for her, but her sister Sarah knows that she disappeared whilst looking for Lucy Gallows. And I think it's a game thing. It's one of those where you play... They have to do things, and it's something to do with spooky woods, and it looks a bit spooky. So that's Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. I think I just picked that one up as I was buying others, and I was like, "Oh, that is quite good." So I picked it up. That's why I picked that one up. I don't think I've heard anybody talk about it. So it was just a bit of a random one, that one. This one I spotted in the supermarket, and I think had I heard anything? Oh, I don't know. I spotted it in the supermarket, so it was reduced. And it is The Killer Across the Table by John E. Douglas and Mark Olshaker. Let's go for that. Inside the minds of psychopaths and predators. So this is reading the back. What makes a serial killer? And it says about 4 serial killers. And it says, in The Killer Across the Table, name of the book. Legendary FBI criminal profiler John E. Douglas. Chap who did Mindhunter. Mindhunter? Oh, what's happened here? That was really weird. My computer just said it was going to load some photos. Okay. A Mindhunter. I'm sure he did Mindhunter. He delves deep into the lives and crimes of 4 of the most disturbing and complex predatory killers he's encountered. So I gather, taking us inside the interrogation room, the killer across the table is an unputdownable, you try and say it quickly, journey into the darkest reaches of criminal profiling. I love something. Oh yeah, no, it is. It is Mindhunter. Yeah, so he really knows. It says Mindhunter there. He really knows his stuff, and I do like him. And I think he's working with somebody. Has he worked with him before? I don't know if he's worked with him before. But so it's kind of all about serial killers and these 4. So it's kind of 4 case studies, and it's not too big. So that's 4 case studies of serial killers. I love serial killer books. Not all of them, I'll be honest. I think we all have our flavour that we like. I don't like all of them. I really like true crime. If you're new here, if you're not new here, you will know that. But I do. I love my true crime. And I do like some serial killer books. So, 3 women. Lisa Taddo is what I'm saying with that. It's a gorgeous cover, isn't it? Cannot get this sticker off. I need to look. I need to get some acetone, I think. Nail varnish remover. And then I can get it off. Get it on. I can sort it. Oh, I'm doing all right. I know it's brilliant that they do stick stickers on things telling us the price of them, but at the same time, can't bear fake stickers on a book. Cannot. And I must admit, I do not like the current trend. No, that's not going to come off. I do not like the current trend of quotes on the cover of a book. They all do it. I wish they wouldn't. Especially when it's supposedly celebs. On the back, I think it's a great idea, but not on the cover. It just ruins the cover. Hello, I am. The sticker comes off well. That's just a moment. We need to have a lie down afterwards, don't we? Gives you that certain frizzle. I am. You can share the moment with me. Taking the sticker off. Oh yes, put that there to put in the bin in a moment. There we go. So 3 Women by Lisa Taddo. I don't know anything about this. Apparently it is amazing. I know nothing about it. Controversial, detailed, spellbinding, upsetting, true and compelling in equal measures. Is it actually then true life? Yes, this is true life. It was Book of the Year picks of all the books in the UK in 2019, was named Book of the Decade by the Stylist, and was The Foyles. Foyles is a very famous London bookshop, which when I used to go to Charing Cross Road in the kind of 90s and used to go to Foyles, I mean it was a pain in the arse to get through, excuse my language. It was a pain because it was really haphazard, and it was always supposed to be a bookseller's dream to work there, although the money was rubbish, but apparently you were given kind of free rein in what you could order, so it had the weirdest range. Did you still have a lot of American as well? It had very good connections. It was really well known, but they've really updated it now, and I think it's lost some of its foilsness, but I haven't been for years. So yes, this is it. So it was Foyle's non-fiction book of the year. So it says, I will probably reread it every year of my life. Will have millions nodding recognition. So I gather it's a bit hard, a bit gripping and a bit hard, but it looks amazing. So yeah, I should give that a go. I didn't realise it was non-fiction. That's made me more excited. Moon Called by Patricia Briggs. I've not told you what this is about because I don't know. It's called 3 Women. It's about 3 women. That's what I'm thinking. This is called Moon Called by Patricia Briggs. The best new fantasy series I have read in years. This is Kelly Armstrong. I do like Kelly Armstrong's books. I haven't read any for ages, and it's a shape-shifting, supernatural thing. It's a long series, if I remember rightly. So if I get into it, happy days. Mercy Thompson's life is a long way from normal. Her next-door neighbour is an alpha werewolf. Who doesn't like an alpha werewolf? Her former boss is a gremlin. And she's fixing a VW bus for a vampire, and then Mercy isn't exactly normal herself. So it goes on from there. So it's Mercy Thomas is the lass. And I gather I was reading another, and it said, if you like that kind of book, if you like that book, I think it must have been on Amazon. If you like that, then other people have read this or looked at this. And I thought, well, I'll have a look at that. And so I picked it up. Moon Called by Patricia Briggs. I'd really do with kind of one of those that I could just fly through, that I could just get into. That would be really great. That would be really great. Let's go on to a hardback. This is, oh, look at this book! Hollow Pox by Jessica Townsend. It is the third in the Morrigan Crow books. It is amazing. This is middle grade. It is similar to kind of Harry Potter. It is for kind of 9s, 10s up, I would say. Oh, so the first one is called Nevermore. The second one is called Wondersmith. And the third one is called Hollow Pox. And this is The Hunt for Morrigan Crow. There she is, Morrigan, doing her thing. And then look at that. I mean, this is gorgeous. It says burn brightly on the back. But look at that naked hardback. I mean, all of the Nevermore books are glorious as hardbacks. If you can get them in these editions, then they're worth it. I've got all 3 of them in hardback. And, oh, just look at it. Look at the detail. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. So this is the third in the series. I can't tell you what it's about because it's the third in the series. So I'll tell you what the first book in the series is about. So Morrigan Crow. Oh, here we are. There's Nevermore, which is the first one, and then Wondersmith, the second one. So Nevermore. So she is supposedly a cursed child, and so they have a shorter life. Not because people kill them off, but because they do. And it is a completely fantasy world. And she's 11, and when they reach 11 to 12, they have this certain epoch. They normally die. They kind of die in that year, and she is taken by one of the best characters, Jupiter North, and she goes through trials to enter this society called the Wondrous Society, and it's about the year that it takes her to go through all the trials and where she lives. She lives in a hotel that Jupiter North runs, and it is just brilliant. It is just brilliant. I absolutely love the series. And Benedict, who is 12, this is, he says, his favourite series. Now, he adores Harry Potter. Absolutely adores Harry Potter. We've been to the Harry Potter studios numerous times. He prefers Morrigan Crow. So yes, this is brand new. This came out last week. Oh, I got it on publication date because it just is amazing. We've had to wait 1.5 years, 2 years for it, and we were like, whoa. So yeah. I made myself cough with excitement. I've been going on too long. Oh my god. Half an hour. I should get quicker. So there we go. Hollow Pox, Nevermore, a Nevermore book. This is the third in the series. If you have, I mean, I really liked that kind of mystery book anyway. Oh, and it's magical and it's just brilliant. So if you like Harry Potter and you want to find something new, then I highly recommend Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, and that's the third one. Let's pick this one up. This is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo, which is a fantasy novel. It is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 7th book that is set in the Grisha universe. It says, face your demons or feed them. I'm not sure if this is the beginning of another trilogy or duology, or if it's a standalone, but it is the Grishaverse is a particular kind of fantasy universe, high fantasy, and magic and sorcery, and there are certain people that have talents, and they have specific talents. You kind of have to kind of know about the Grisha universe. No, it's high fantasy. This is using a character that was in the Six of Crows duology. I don't know if this is the first book in the series, as I was saying. I'm going to just find out about it. It's King of Stars. King of Scars, even. So yeah, there we go. And it is very shiny. And I got the paperback version. So I did fancy the hardbacks, but I've got paperbacks of all the others. So I thought I'd carry on with that. This is called Melmoth by Sarah Perry. She is the author of The Essex Serpent, which was Faux Victoriana, which I read 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago. I read a while ago, got the hardback. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the fact it was Faux Victoriana. I like Victorian novels anyway, and it kind of just made me think, just read a Victorian novel. You can tell that this isn't truly Victorian, but it had enough of it in there that I just lapped it up and I really enjoyed it. And there was a bit of a mystery to the story, although it wasn't a mystery book. And this is 1920s. Oh no, so it sounds like this comes across a while ago. This covers a big area. Oh, my friend, won't you take my hand? I've been so lonely. One winter night in Prague, Helen Franklin meets her friend Carol on the street. Agitated and enthralled, he tells her he has come into possession of a mysterious old manuscript filled with personal testimonies that take them from 17th century England to wartime Czechoslovakia, the tropical streets of Manila, and 1920s Turkey. All of them tell of being followed by a tall, silent woman in black bearing an unforgettable message. So I have no idea what this is about. But it is gorgeous. Isn't that? I've just realised a bit of a theme with my gorgeous books that I am. That is lovely, but I actually prefer that. Look at that. That is heavenly. And I picked it up because it's Sarah Perry and it was part of a kind of promotion. Mindhunter. And now I see that actually he obviously works with him regularly. So when I was saying, is it Mindhunter? I was like, oh, I've got Mindhunter there. So yeah, so that's Mindhunter. So this is kind of Netflix, now a Netflix original series. Have you watched it, Sally? Miss Sally? No, she's not watched it. I haven't watched it actually. I think I started it and then didn't get any further with it. So I probably need to pull my socks up. Just not at the time really, but I need to pull my socks up and watch it because I probably will adore it. So this is Mindhunter, inside the FBI elite serial crime unit. This is probably the book that started off the idea of it. It's got Patricia Cornwell there. I haven't read any Patricia Cornwell for ages, but yeah. So that's another John Douglas book. So that's true crime. I'm whipping through these a bit quicker now. This is called Initiated, and it's Amanda Yates Garcia, a memoir of a witch. I should really this week, shouldn't I? Being a witchy, she looks quite a bold lass, handy with a broomstick. So there she is. She's Amanda Yates Garcia's mother, initiated her into the goddess worshipping practice of witchcraft when she was 13 years old. And I am sold. So this is all about her. So it's about being a modern witch, goddess worshipping witch, and all that kind of stuff. This was an Oprah book club pick. It was Hidden Valley Road, Inside the Mind of an American Family by Robert Kolker. And I watched the programme that she does, Oprah's book club, where she interviews people in it. And I watched that and I thought, God, I'd really like to read the book. And so I just thought, I will. And so I ordered it. It's quite quite a heavy hardback, and when I got it, I realised that I have actually read his previous book, Lost Girls, which is about a serial killer on Long Island that hasn't been, as far as I'm aware, is still an unsolved mystery. And it was very much from, rather than looking at the serial killer, it was actually looking at the women that died and how their lives had led up to a point where they lived what's called a high risk lifestyle. And it was looking at them because they were all part of the sex trade and they were all sex workers, and it was looking into them. It was an amazing book to read. It was quite hard work. I found it quite almost depressing, but I felt like you were bearing witness to their lives almost, and there was something quite, I felt like you had to do it. So it was a really well written book. So I thought, when I actually realised it's him, I thought, oh, actually he's really good. So it's an amazing family. What an amazing, can I do this? Yeah, look at that, what a staircase. So, the heartrending story of a mid-century American family with 12 children, 6 of them diagnosed with schizophrenia, that became science's greatest hope in the quest to understand the disease. So 6 of these boys, starting with him, apparently, is that right, from the first chap? The oldest, born in 1945. And watching it, he has schizophrenia, so it's from him. So yeah, crazy, eh? So it's an amazing story about that, and they have testimony from the people that are still living. Gosh. So yeah, there we go. Here we are. 2 more, and then we're done. If you're still with me, God love you. If you forwarded through the beginning bit, I can understand that. So here we go. Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. And actually, when I bought this, I thought it was Mark Lawrence off the telly. I was like, Mark Lawrence? Actually, it's not that Mark Lawrence. It's a different Mark Lawrence that I'm aware of. And if you know who I mean by Mark Lawrence off the telly, you know, I was like, oh, I'm surprised that he would write a high fantasy book. And he didn't. It's not him. So, Red Sister. I have seen this recommended. And I thought I'd give it a go. When I got it and then read the back, I was a bit like, because it's written from the point of view of a younger girl, and if you've been watching me for a long time, you know that I don't particularly like books written from the perspective of a child, with the child as the main protagonist and narrator. I don't, it's just not my thing. Other people find it really moving and I just, well, no, I'm a grown-up, I don't want to read it. So this was, I was born for killing, the gods made me to ruin. At the convent of Sweet Mercy girls are raised to be killers. Basically, that's why I bought it. I thought that was quite good. And I gather this is a series. So looking at it, it's a Red Sister. I'm sure. It says book 1 of the Ancestor. So there are obviously ones. So I got this when we were on holiday. Red Sister, because I thought it looked quite good. She looks grown up there. She's not. When I got home, I was like, oh. In her short life, oh, she's not grown up, is she? I like grown-ups. Anyway, last book. This is getting quite a lot of press in this country. I don't know whether it's elsewhere as well, but it's got quite a lot of press. And when I saw it, I thought, oh, I would really like that. I'm a little bit more kind of, is it for me? Because of who the protagonists are. It's not children this time. This is Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club, and it was a proper funny murder mystery steeped in Agatha Christie, and it was that kind of, everything I heard about it gave off the vibe of Agatha Christie and that kind of cosy crime, and I thought I could really like it, and I really admire Richard Osman. So he is a chap off the telly who is does numerous programmes, a lot of quiz programmes, which actually I don't watch. I don't watch quiz programmes at all. Not interested in them. I don't have time for it anyway, but I really don't. But he is a British television producer and presenter. The Thursday Murder Club is his first and so far best novel. And he has this really wry sense of humour, and he's superbly intelligent and just has this really wry look on life that I just think, yeah, that sounds really brilliant. So I thought I'd give it a go. And that's what I thought. Give it a go. And it is set in a peaceful retirement village. 4 unlikely friends meet up once a week, the Thursday Murder Club, to investigate unsolved murders. And I don't know why, but I just thought I'd give it a go. So, and then I doubted myself because I don't like books. Like, I don't like young people. I don't. It's people of a certain age, because it just sets me off thinking about my mum and dad who are no longer with us. So I kind of was like, oh, once I got it, I was a bit kind of like, I'm not going to like this. but I will read it. I will read it. So yes, Richard Osman, Thursday Murder Club, cosy crime, supposed to be brilliant. I'm going to give that a love. 4 unlikely friends, a shocking murder. Welcome to the Thursday Murder Club. Look at that. That's great end papers. I don't think this is really good. Oh, look at that. That's quite cool. Anyway, there we go. There we go, deep friends. That's it. That's my stack of books. I'm not going to be able to show you them as a great stack as I normally do because there's quite a lot of them. So there we go. So I've read some of them already. Have you been able to tell which ones I've read? Some of them I haven't read. One of them I've DNF'd already. Can you guess which one it is? Some I've really liked. Some of them not so much. I'm actually... 2 of them I think I've already started. There we go. And there we go, dear friends. That's it. That is your weekend reads for this week. I'm going to be watching this back and then uploading it later. And next week I shall tell you which ones I read and which ones I haven't. I'll get the stack of books out again. This has been lovely, BookTube. I hope you're well. I hope everything's going well with you, that you're staying safe and are all right. Sending love to you. And I look forward to seeing you again some other time next week. Let's do this again.